Okay, hello, hello. It is 3:01, and I see all of you are already ready to go. So I'm glad to see y'all this afternoon. It's been a little over a week since we've gotten together, so I'm glad to be back. I'm rested, kind of get my mojo going for Christmas now, and we'll see what we can create. So before I get too ahead of myself, I just want to make sure you can see and hear me. And as you let me know, I'll say my hellos. Melody, you were first in, so glad to see that. Glad to see you here, ready to go. Tina, hello. Robin, hi Robin. Teresa. So yeah, we got a good group going on here. So I have been busy behind the scenes putting away some of my Halloween stuff. And we're going to transition into Christmas crafting. And maybe we'll get a few other things in along the way. We'll see. Did put a couple of new digital items out there. And one of them we're going to play with today. We're going to play with a new die. That's also in the shop. Hopefully you guys saw that with my Friday newsletter. And I also created a digital, just because I do that. Hey Kathleen. So if you guys can't, if the die is not in your budget, you can still play along with some digitals. Yes, Melody, remind me to share it. I have it already set it up, so remind me at the end of the... Well, actually, let's do that in the beginning, because we're going to transition out of Halloween. So yes, thank you, Melody, for reminding me on that. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to play with a new die set that I have. And then maybe I'll give you a sneak peek of the steampunk journal that I'm working on. So I am putting together the prototype, and the prototype, you guys, I don't think y'all realize how much work it takes curating these kits. I have been looking all over the place for items, and of course trying to keep it within budget as well. So I've already found the paper. I found some of the die cuts we're going to use, some metal items. So Tina, good. I'll be looking forward to that. So yeah, maybe I'll give you a sneak peek. I've already done the cover, and now I'm starting to work on the inside. Still waiting for a few things that I've ordered. And then the steampunk journal is going to go, our class is going to be in February for that. So I'll probably put sign-ups out on the website in December. I don't want to put it out there too early because I know we just had classes and we're not thinking about next year yet. So probably December I'll put the class out there, and I think I'm going to have... I thought I was going to have 15 slots, but I have 12 because some of the items that I'm curating for the kit, I can't find 15. I can only find 12 or 13, but I'm still looking. So we'll see. When I do curate kits, I look all over for product. Some of the product is not readily available anymore, so I have to go on eBay. I have to go on Etsy. I gotta go all over the place to try to curate my kits. So we'll see. Some of the digitals I create. So yeah, we'll see how it's coming. All right. So I think that's all the announcements. We'll just get to it. We're gonna be creating some peeking Santas today. And I know last year we played with some peeking characters, and y'all really liked them. So I decided this year to have the die in my shop. And I created some cute little digitals as well. Oh, excuse me. So let's transition down and we shall get going. So I didn't see, can you guys see, Monica, can you see and hear me? I'm looking for confirmation. Anybody? Anybody? Bueller? Just give me some confirmation, y'all. And then I don't want to get too far ahead. And we shall get going. I think you can see and hear me, right? Hello. See and hear. Thanks, Tina. All right, awesome. I just didn't want to get ahead of myself, and then I'm here by myself. All right, so let's transition down. And Delina, did I say hello to you? Kathleen, I don't know if I got you as well. So yeah, Debbie just jumped in. So awesome. Let's transition down. Look at my messy desk, and we'll get going here. All right. Transition. All right. Yes, we will look at the Halloween card first. All right. This is what we're going to play with today. Let me grab Melody's card. And again, Melody is amazing with her talents. All 3 cards that I've gotten so far have been awesome. Let's revisit my cards here because they're all pretty cool. Alright, so this is from Melody, and she just makes some beautiful cards. I love the way she did the inside as well as the out. Just fantastic, Melody, fantastic. Love this die, and of course I'm kind of into bats recently, and then the trick or treat, and she's cut this. It looks like she's layered it a few times. It's really thick, which is what I love about her cards. Her cards are very substantial. They're not flimsy, and I just love it. Also love the skull in the moon. It reminded me of Batman. But yeah, just beautiful card. I love the glow around the moon. These are keepers for sure. I do keep your cards, you guys. They're just beautiful. I love them. And then, of course, I shared with you, Lourdes sent me this fantastic one. I think I'm going to get that die for next year. I think it's fantastic. And I love the way these go flat. We might have to make one of these because I think they're fantastic. But again, with the bats, kind of into the bats recently. And then I love the ghosts. She made me also this little card on thick cardstock. Pretty cool. And then Delina, love these witches. You don't get these anymore in the paper dolls. I don't know if you guys have noticed that. But another fantastic card. I love that my style is your style, or that my style has rubbed off on you, and now it's your style. I think it's fantastic. So love these cards, guys. Beautiful work, and thank you so much. Just love them. All right, so let's figure out what we're going to do. I got a new die set, and I loved it so much. I put a few in the shop, because I know you guys like to create what I create. Hopefully I inspire you. But it is a Peking Santa. And whenever I get a new die set, I don't know if you're like me, but I always just put together a quick one so I can kind of see the layout, see what dies I have, and then if I go to make more, that's when I zhuzh it up a little bit. So we're going to zhuzh it up. So this is the basic, kind of get you an idea. I put it in with my dies, so when I'm looking through my dies, I mean, to me, I'm like, okay, what is this? I don't know what this is. But then when I'm like, oh yeah, this is my Peking Santa die. So that's this. It is in the shop, guys. I think I have maybe like 9 or 10 of them. So hopefully you guys like it. And then the other die set that I just put in the shop, which we're going to be playing with next week, is Special Delivery. You know how I love mail cards. And of course, you know, with Christmas, Santa has special deliveries. And this is a special delivery die. I loved the font on this, and that's why I had to get it. So these are also in the shop if you guys are interested. Again, I don't have tons. I have like 9 or 10 because Mama's bank book doesn't afford me to buy lots of these from my wholesaler. So I have to be limited, especially if I want to give you options. And that's really why I add a few items to the shop as I'm making things, because there's nothing worse than to make something for you guys and then you guys want to make it and you can't. So that's why I do it for you. All right. Believe me, this lady's not getting rich off of my shop. It's just truly a hobby for sure. Okay, so let's make this, and we'll zhuzh it up. And then the digitals in the shop, I think it's only a few bucks. I made 4 of these, so we'll put these together as well. So if you just needed quick cards, you can just print these out and make quick cards. But the dies typically are not the dies typically are not quick cards. But we're gonna have some fun, right? It's all about the creative process, not necessarily that it takes us 3 hours to make one card, right? That's not what it's about. Okay, guys. So let's get going. I did go ahead and cut everything out, so you guys don't have to see me sitting here die cutting everything. So I put these in these little baggies. I have these little baggies, and I don't know why, but they've been perfect to separate my tiny pieces. So good thing for that. All right, so we've got some music going on here, and then I found some really awesome paper to cut these out. So if you guys do get the die set and want this paper, it is in the digital set. I shared that with you guys. All right, so the first thing we want to do is we want to create some backgrounds. So what I thought we would do is just use some of our oxides and inks and see what we can get going here. I've got the distress inks as well as the oxides, and I know we're not supposed to mix and match. Are we not supposed to mix and match? I don't know what the rules are, but you know what? I don't follow the rules, so I don't care. I do what I want to do. All right. Let me just find some foamies here, and we'll get going. Okay, so the inks I thought we would use today are Stormy Sky, Tumbled Glass, and then I also pulled out Lost Shadow. And then I have my spritzer Tumbled Glass, so I thought we'd try to make some backgrounds with those. Let's see what I can get going here. Stormy Sky. Ooh, I feel like I'm working on a headache over my left eye. Ooh, that's not good. Okay, Stormy Sky. And did I say Salty Ocean? No. Didn't I just say Stormy Sky? Yes. This says Stormy Sky, and this says Faded Jeans. Did you guys catch that? Okay, this is definitely not Faded Jeans. It looks like this lady mixed up her caps. Hold on a second here. Hold your horses. Faded Jeans. And it has to be an oxide. Ah, what did this girl do? Salty Ocean. Okay. Interesting. It must be on my desk somewhere. All right. Well, that's interesting. So this is Stormy Sky because I put the label on the actual pad. It looks like I put the wrong lid. So I'm thinking my Faded Jeans is on my my Stormy Sky lid is on my Faded Jeans. So we'll have to find it. But in any case, you know, when we're in a creative mode, I guess we don't pay attention. All right. Let's get going. I think I'm going to start with my Tumbled Glass. And let's see. There we go. So Tumbled Glass is in an oxide, in an ink, not an oxide. So I'm going to do that around the edge. Okay. Yeah, this is a little bit darker. And I'm going to blend it in. I guess I should move my camera. There we go. I'm going to blend it in, so don't worry about that. I know it looks a little rough, but I just want to get some ink on paper, and then we'll do some blending. Okay. So there's my edge. Alright, and then we're going to come in lighter. So there is that one. Let's try to not mix up too much here, Monica. Okay. This is Stormy Sky Oxide. Okay. I know that says Faded Jeans, but it really is Stormy Sky. Ooh, that's darker than I remembered. Okay. And then I'm going to come in with the lightest color here of Lost Shadow. And that's what I'm going to use to do all of my blending here. I know I have more of these blending tools. There we go. Okay, and then this is Lost Shadow. So let's just put some muscle into it here. And try to get some blending going on. I might have to come a little bit darker because that's not really, well, actually it is starting to move a little bit. And keep in mind, I'm going to have that fence, so the fence is going to cover part of it, and then I'm going to have my snowman. So let's just try to soften this up a little bit. And sometimes if you come in too dark, coming in with a lighter ink to do your blending will soften up some of your colors. I am putting some muscle into this. So. And then I'm going to darken up the edges again. So that's pretty good, I think. All right. Let me see. So now let's go ahead and put some of our tumbled glass. Let's see here. Kind of far away, right? And then I have some paper towels around here. It's pretty good. Don't get ink on it. I know, right? We went out to breakfast this morning, and I didn't change. So thank you for that. All right, let's see. I'm just pull up my sleeves a little bit here. Thank you for that. All right. That looks good, I think. All right. So that looks like kind of a snowy background, right? We're going to put some snowflakes, but I kind of like that. I do want to put a little bit more edging to make the outside a little darker. So let me just try to do that. I probably should dry this a little bit. I don't want to make that loud noise for you guys. Okay. All right. I think that looks pretty good. Now, excuse me. So this is our pattern. But what I ended up doing, and I'll show you how I did it, but I'll show you what we're gonna do. I added these lights, and these are just lights that I got hey Jim, these are lights that I got at Hobby Lobby, but isn't that cute? So let me show you how I did that. The first thing we want to do is get our walnut stain and add our walnut stain. And I played with different backgrounds for the fence. Here was one that I did as well. But I ended up really liking this one. So this is the one I put in the kit, the digital kit. So let's put that. And then you're going to want to put your... Where are my... Oh, they're there. Your icicles, right? Love this set because you can put these on houses. This icicle set I think is going to be really versatile. So I was really, really happy with that. So this is easy. This is just a quick glue. And then... Hey, Mari. And then you're going to want a thinner tip for some of the icicles. So let's do that. Okay. And then I'm going to just glue this down here. Right. And what I love about the dies is it really guides you as far as the alignment, so that makes it really nice. And then, of course, you know, I've got to add my walnut stain. It just makes it a nice shadow. All right. There we go. So once you have your fence together, the next thing you want to do is you want to put your lights. Now, like I said, I got these lights at Hobby Lobby. So that's where I got these. And really easy. They have little foam dots, but I actually glued mine down a little bit more just to make it a little bit more secure. And I just started at the end, and then I just made sure that my loops, you know, touched the top. And then I pushed down where the foam dots were, and then I came back in with glue. Just to be safe. Okay. And then we'll just hold this down a minute. Yeah, the Snowman, Mari, it's a die set in my shop. And then I also created a digital set as well for y'all. Alright, so once you've got the first set of lights going, what you're going to want to do, you would think it would be as easy as just continuing. Actually, that's not so bad. On the last set, I had to actually come this way and then cut, but I think this is going to work. So my point is, you want to make sure that your bulbs, your bulbs, are cohesive, and that they don't, you don't have them too close together. So when I'm looking at this here, right? Oh, actually, yeah, that's right. Oh, my little bulbs came off. These stickers are from last year. So actually I might do that. So I'm going to, I love how I talk to myself. So I'm going to go ahead and just do this. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this. So I'll show you in a second. I know my big fingers are in the way, but I'm just going to cut. Well, let me show you before I cut. So I started at the edge, and then where it lines up right here, I'm going to cut it. So the string of lights match right there. You see? So pretty easy, right? Not brain surgery, thank goodness. And then maybe we'll just glue these together here. We got a little overlap. The whole string won't go out. Yeah? I'll just lose half my lights, right? Because it's two different strings. Alright, so let's glue this down just again for a little strength. Alright, and then we'll just kind of hold this together. But yeah, so like I said, I'm just zhuzhing it up. You can go as simple or as extravagant, but it's always fun just to find little extra ways to add to the cards, right? So to me, I mean, at least I think, you know, this is a lot funner than this. So yeah, but you can go plain as well. There's nothing wrong with that. All right, so let's see here. Let's go ahead and put down our, let's first make sure I have the right size. Okay. We'll go ahead and we'll put this down just like so. And then when I glue this, because some of the snowmen actually go underneath, I'm going to leave the top of it. I'm not going to glue the top down, so I have room to stick my snowman under if I need to. So just like any type of layering, you know, if you know that you're going to be doing some layering, don't necessarily glue the whole thing down. So that way you have room to, you know, tuck things underneath. All right. And there's your fence. All right. So now that we have our fence together, put that aside, we can go ahead and start doing the layout. Now, you can choose to use the songs or not. The note sheets or not use the note sheets. I'm going to go ahead and use it on my card just so you can kind of see it. so let's go ahead and add that on. Punch some of these out. This die is another die that I think would be really versatile with other cards, along with the icicles that are, you know, holding down or coming down. You can use them with other cards, other projects. I think a lot of times we forget about other dies that we might have. So don't be afraid to mix and match. All right. And then I can just kind of stick this, I don't know, just, I think I actually put this more over here. And there you go. All right. Okay, so Snowman. Like I said, I pre-cut a lot of these smaller items because I didn't want to be here spending hours and hours cutting. But, you know, if you're just kind of hanging out and watching YouTube videos, that's typically when I'm doing my die cutting, especially these smaller items. I'll get my my small sidekick, my little die cutter, and I'll just cut and put them in little baggies. So let's go ahead and just kind of put down our snowflakes. All right. You know, you could, I was just thinking with these little dots here, if you wanted to, you could glue these little dots down and make them snow, but whew, that would be a lot of work, right? But you could do that. All right. So there are my 3 snowflakes, and again, snowflakes can be used in all sorts of cards. So cut lots of these. All right. I'll put these back in here for another day. And I'm going to, let me think. I think I'm going to do some blue on these. The bags I got at Hobby Lobby. We have a Hobby Lobby in Billings, Montana. So whenever we go into town, we just take a little trip to see what's going on. So just add in a little blue to the edges here. Alright. Not a lot, just enough to give me a little bit of a shadow. I feel like I'm getting more on my fingers than I am on my die. I should really be using a smaller, oops, let's not tear it, a smaller blending tool, but I'm not. Alright, so let's put these down. Okay. Yeah, with any, and what I like about these small bags is, you know, it's the worst part of using dies, and I'll admit it, this is probably why I don't make a lot of cards with dies. The worst part is cutting out all the pieces. But if you know, compartmentalize, that's what Mr. Holtz always says, do things in phases. So like I said, if you're not necessarily in a creative mood, just sit down and cut dies and put them in the little baggies. And then that way when you're ready to create, you have them, you know, ready to go. It just makes, to me, it makes being creative a little more fun. You know, get the part out of the way that you don't like so you can focus on the fun parts, which is, you know, putting your card together. All right, I think that looks good. So, and if you're making several of these, right, you can do these in stages. You know, maybe do all the backgrounds, and then do, you know, all the fences, and then do all the music, and then all of the snowflakes. So, you know, make it enjoyable. Don't make it a chore. No one wants to work. We want to have fun. All right. So these little happy faces crack me up. Look at the little snowmen. They're just smiling. Super, super cute. All right. So let's figure out where they go. So that's, I got one with, let's see here. This guy is looking straight on. Ah, this is my flat face and this is my big face. All right. They all have names, I guess. Glitter paper. Yeah, that's a great idea, Robin. Yeah, you can, that's a really, really good idea. Okay, of course, you know, I always do a little shadow. Even on white snowmen, I like to do little shadows. It's just my thing. Just my thing that I like to do. And you know what? Maybe the snowman got a little dirt on them. You just don't know what they're doing. Alright, so there's this guy. And then I've got the fat face kind of looking up, right? See why it's important not to glue this down? Because now I can, you know, stick my snowman in here. See how cute that is? Very, very cute, right? And then at this point, once you got them in there, you could just add, you know, little bits of glue to glue them down. I'm not going to do that quite yet. I'm going to go ahead and do my placements first. And I think I'll do the hat. The hat's next. So I've got a little top hat. Of course, snowmen have to have little top hats, right? I don't think you're going to be able to see this, but you know, I do that anyway. Alright, so this is going to go here. Okay. And then it has a little green trim, so let's just put that on. Don't eat dirty or yellow snow. Yeah, that's a good piece of advice. You guys are crazy. You guys are crazy. Alright. So let's put my glue. I wonder where Lourdes is today. I haven't seen her pop in. And Katrina is a new gal as well. I haven't seen her pop in either. Alright, so there's our top hat. And this is going to go right there. And then our mittens. Mittens and hat. Ooh, did I cut both pieces of the hat? I might not have. I'm sure that I cut everything. Put my glue top back on. Maybe I wasn't as prepared as I thought I was. I might have to pop over to my die cutting machine and cut the other part of my hat off. Alright, so here is the rim, and here's the little bob that goes on top, and then the mittens. Did I not cut everything? I mean, my desk is a mess, so it's possible that it's buried, but I thought I was prepared. Maybe not. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to have to pop over to my machine and cut something out. So I am missing the little top of the hat and a little mitten to match. So, let me see. No, I got the mitten. That's right. I just am needing 1, 2. There's the top. There's the rim. Yeah, I'm going to need the mitten to match the... No, I got the mitten. Okay, that's the top. Everybody hold their horses. Alright, so that's the little top. I'm looking for the mitten. Alright, well, we're going to have to figure that out. Okay, so I definitely need I'm definitely going to need, let me cut off this little piece here. A little piece of the hat. There we go. So let me do that real quick. Fortunately, I still have the paper out. Alright, and if you even want to go a step further, hold on, let me put my little pad down. You know, when you're hanging out at home, cutting your dies, you know, you can always put together, you know, the pieces. Like you can glue the green onto the top hat. You can put the little, see, that's a mitten. You can put the little, you know, pom-pom, couldn't think of the word there, onto, see, that's the wrong color though. That's, there we go. The pom-pom onto the hat, right? And I'm going to let that dry a minute. And then what I do with, oh, there it is. And then this goes, just goes right there. No big deal. I think that goes on top though. All right, so let's put that together. So this is gonna go right here. Just okay. Yeah, the tiny lights, like I said, as I start to dig through my Christmas from yesteryear. Oh, you know what? I didn't put any walnut stain on this. I saw those lights and I thought, that would be perfect. So don't forget to dig through your stash, guys. Don't run out and buy all sorts of new things. You know, dig through what you have and buy things to complement what you already have. And then that way, you know, you have new, but you have your stash that you're still using. I mean, I'm all about, you know, buying new things within reason. I'm going to say that within reason. The fact that Mr. Tim Holtz isn't designing new product anymore makes it a lot a lot easier. That should go underneath. Makes it a lot easier for me not to buy new things, that's for sure, but that goes underneath, guys. So we'll just do that. And then I still need to put a little glue down so that I kind of know where these are going to go. There we go. I can go ahead and glue this down. So you don't need a lot. And even if some of the part of the hat or the snowman sticks up a little bit, like for instance this little pom-pom is still up, that's okay. As long as it's going to stay secure, I think it'll be okay. Okay, so that's going to go like that. And then let's get Mr. Big Face. And he's going to go a little bit underneath, so, and he's kind of looking up a little bit, just like that. Cute. And then this is Mr. Hiding Face, because he's kind of hiding a little bit. So we'll just stick him. You can go as low or as high as you want. Alright, and then we can put his hat. Where did his hat go? There it is. Alright. So here is our top hat. Right hither. Okay. Cute. Cute, cute, cute. Alright, and then this little guy does not have a hat. But he's going to have a bird on top. Now, let's see. Dirty hands. We need a glove. So let's do our glove. Okay. Let's do our glove. Just, I don't know, just somewhere right there. Kind of like he's hanging on, right? It's cute. All right. Don't want to lose that piece. Let me put this away. There we go. So yeah, anybody have any questions so far? Let's see if he has a bird. You guys are snarky today. Oh my goodness. Delina, are you saying my birds poop? Come on now. Alright, let's put the other glove down. How do you know my birds poop? Maybe they don't. Alright, I'm gonna get my little mitten here, and we will put it down. Alright. Just somewhere, just like that, I guess, right? Okay. Now, we are almost done with this. Delina, I want to show you a little trick on these birds. Oh, we got to put the noses, the carrot noses. Okay. Almost forgot about those. So let me make sure I get the right sizes here. So this is for Big Face. Got a skinny one here. for this guy. I can't believe I almost forgot. There we go. I almost forgot the carrot noses. I cut a lot of those too. Alright, little walnut stain for some shadowing. So I've been playing with my sourdough, feeding it regularly. It's very happy. I made some bread the other day. Well, let me back up. So I got this new cookbook for sourdough to use the discard, because I have more discard than I have of the live dough, of course. So I made the bread, and I misread the recipe, and I cooked so stupid. I cooked the bread for 15 minutes longer than I should have. It was still okay, but it was a little hard. So I'm like, all right, I gotta do this again. So I cooked it again, making sure to and I made like not bread loaves, but like baguettes, kind of French bread, I guess. Maybe it's a little bit thicker than a baguette. But anyway, I cooked it for the right amount of time this time. Oh my gosh, you guys, it was so excellent. I love it. And you know, bread isn't the best thing for you, so I have to really be careful. But it was so good. So good. So today, I made some pizza dough out of my sourdough. And I'm going to be making homemade pizzas tonight. But I have a salad too, so I'm going to have salad with pizza. Yeah, I'm having a good time with my bread making, but I have to learn how to make good sandwich bread, because I don't want to have to buy loaves of bread anymore. So I've got to figure that out. My husband bought me a couple of nice bread loaf pans. And I gotta master that. So yeah, my bread's been, the first few things I made were okay, but now that I'm kind of, my sourdough starter is getting nice and aged a little bit. It's been really nice. All right, guys, so we are almost done here. I just have to do the birds, but I kind of want to just revisit. Isn't this cute? And we've been chit-chatting, so it took me a minute to put this together. But honestly, if you cut out your die cuts ahead of time, and have them all, in little baggies or whatnot, these come together really, really cute. So it's a really cute die. I know I don't go cutesy too much. So you guys are probably like, all right, Monica, this is not your style at all. But I like the Peking Snowman. I think they're really cute. And I wouldn't say this is too cutesy, to be honest with you. It's still got a little bit of that vintage grunge, I think. And if you zhuzh it up a little bit, with your lights, it's so wonderful. All right. So yeah, I guess it's a, would you guys call this cutesy? Are your recipes from King Arthur's website? Some of them, Jim. Yes, some of them. But I bought this book on Amazon for beginners. But yeah, I have used a few of the recipes off of King Arthur's, and I found that I can get their flour. Excuse me. I could get their flour at Costco, so my husband's going to get me a big bag of flour, so I'm very excited about that. So, yeah. So, not a hard card. I mean, when you look at it, you're like, oh my God, this is so much work. But you saw how easy it came together. Now, the birds are a different story. So, let's talk about the birds. Let's talk about the birds and the bees. Well, we'll just talk about the birds today, not the bees. All right. As you can see, hey Kathleen, thank you. As you can see, I have 3 colors of the birds. I've got red, I've got black, and I've got the yellow. And the reason for that is because I want my birds to have a little bit of color. I don't want them to be all red. I don't want them to be all black, and I don't want them to be all yellow. So my recommendation for you is to do these little buggers ahead of time, because they're a little bit of work, and I'll show you how I did it. But again, it's all about planning. If you can, you know, plan your holiday cards where they won't be a chore. Let's see, if I get a large bag of flour, make sure it's sealed container. Bug prevention. Oh no, Delina. Yes, I have a really good container that I put my flour in. But, ew, yuck. Yeah, and it seals real tight on the lid, so it's really awesome. All right, but thank you for that tip. I think I would freak out if I found bugs in my flour. So these are real easy to do. Once you have all three colors, what's nice about I think a crow would be great for the bird. You ordered the dies. Yes. The way, I don't know if you can see this. So the way that the head is, let me see if I can share this. There's a little, like a line, a cut. Let me see if I can put that way up there. Anyway, trust me. But it shows you where you can cut the head. So if you follow that cut, and don't lose the head, because I've done that. If you follow that cut, you get your beak. Okay, so there's your beak right there. And make sure you're using the right bird. So this bird is the one facing this way. So let's make sure we get the right one. Because there's two different birds facing different directions. So you want to make sure you get the right direction birds when you're cutting their heads off. Sorry. Cut off the right head. Don't cut off the wrong head. And then when you go to glue it, my nose is running. You just need a little dab. And like I said, the die gives you an impression here, so you can easily follow. And you don't need a lot. I mean, get some of that off. You can easily follow the impression. And then just, again, I know this is the pain in the butt part, but it really does make the robin. Robin. And then just put him, you know, where he goes. It's no rush, just take your time doing it. He lines up perfectly, obviously, because it's the same die. But, I mean, look at that. Doesn't that look better than just a red robin? It's really, really cute. And then, you know, the same, but then you have a bird without a head. So that's okay. But then for the yellow part, you just need just the beak, you guys. Just the beak. You don't need much. So you just, again, let's see here. Even after you said don't buy it. You guys. Well, if you, I didn't say don't buy anything. I said buy things to complement what you have. Melody, as the Backstage Pass holder, don't forget to, Debbie, you're a Backstage Pass holder too, aren't you? Don't forget to order the digital kit, because you're going to get the wood that you want in the digital kit. And so when you get your die, you can cut your fence with the same wood, and the wood is awesome. So, all right, so there's my, and this is tiny. I kid you not. So apologies in advance. But now you have the beak. And Delina, I see your question. I'll be right with you. These little beaks are small, y'all. Oh my goodness. So let's get this beak on. I should be using tweezers, and I know that, but I'm a rebel. All right, so how does this go? It goes like this. There we go. And once you get him attached, there he is. All right, so there is your bird. And isn't that better than just a plain bird? So apologies for the process, but don't shoot the teacher. All right? Now, I'm not saying you have to do all 3 layers, but if you want to be fancy, you know, and I know we like to be fancy around here. If you want to be fancy, then you're going to cut all 3 colors and go through the painstaking cutting to create these itty-bitty little birds. But it'll be worth it, I promise. All right. So if you can make several of these birds ahead of time and stick them in the little baggie, you'll save yourself some grief, I'm sure. All right. These should be the yellow makes it. Absolutely, Delina. All right. So now that these birds are dry, I better not lose my beak. I'll be ticked. All right. I can stick my birds on my Santas. Cute, right? Super, super cute. A little glossy accent with glitter. Ooh, the glossy accent would be a good idea, wouldn't it? You know what? I was going to do some glitter. I'll show you in a moment. You guys are ahead of me. Alright, so there's that little bird. I was going to use that snow that I have where you spritz it, but I need to get some of my, not glossy accents, but collage medium. So maybe we'll do that. Put a little collage medium. Alright, so this goes on this guy right here. Cute, right? So cute. Delina is reading it and I poked myself with the pen. Ouch! You're not going to do the birds. Well, I get it. I get it. All right. You guys crack me up. Let me get my collage medium. All right. My box of mediums here. Rock candy. Ooh. Rock candy. That is my glitter. Grit paste. Texture paste. Collage medium. Here we go. All right. Ooh. Going to, and then I need to find my snow. Where's my snow? You guys remember this, right? Max is good, y'all. He is doing great. I've changed his see. Add some Tinholes glitter to the paste you add. I'm going to, this is his glitter that dusts, but I'm going to add a little bit of this so it'll stick. So let's do this. So yeah, Max, I was feeding him at night, and now I've started feeding him in the morning. I only feed him once a day. So he's doing good. Alright. Let me just add a little bit more. And then we'll dust it. Max isn't in here right now, though. He must be watching football with my husband. Alright, and then we're going to just dust this. I love this duster. Hopefully you guys can see that. Do you see the dusting on it? And it'll stick. And that's it. Put a little circle on the big face mouth so he's singing. Oh, yeah, I could. One of the things I did do, and I'll do that later, is I got my marker and I just kind of emphasized the eyes a little bit to make them a little darker. So you could do that, or not. I think it's just as cute without it. I mean, the eyes already show anyway. But yeah, that's the card. We're gonna do the digital one, so don't head out. But I just wanted to show you how you can zhuzh up your cards a little bit. This, like I said, this is the very first one I did just to kind of get the layout, and then just start going through your stash. You know, I found the lights, and I added the snow. You know, just a lot of fun things to add to take your cards up to the next level. All right, so the die set, again, is in the shop if you are so inclined. And the digital set, which is what we're going to look at right now, has the paper. Has the paper to cut the fence on. Or, you know, if you have your own paper, that's cool too. Just giving you the info. Any sentiment for the front or strictly inside. This is what I would say to that, Jim. If you don't have the lights here, I don't want to take away from the lights, and this is probably where my sentiment would go. I would put a sentiment here. Let it snow is probably what I would do. In the digital kit, I have the no peeking, which you can size down and use for the inside or the out. So I would say probably sentiment in the inside. If you can find small enough letters, in fact, I do have small letters. I might just do a let it snow. If I do, I'll take pictures and I'll put it on Instagram. But yeah, let it snow would be really cute. I wouldn't want to take away from here though, so it'd probably have to be up here. And if you were going to do a sentiment on the card, just plan it, right? Just kind of know what your layout's going to be before you put the music. And if you are going to put the let it snow, you know, cut out letters or whatever, just consider that in your placement so you're not, you're not disappointed. I'm just adding the extra glue now right under the fence now that we have our snowman in place. All right, so that is Peking Snowman. Super cute. All right, let's play with the digital set, shall we? Where are we at with time? 1 hour and 9 minutes. Is everybody still good? Or have you had enough of Monica? Are you like, okay, I've had enough of this crazy lady. Although you guys are the crazy ones today. Talking about birds pooping and, yellow snow, dirty snow. My goodness, you guys. If I wasn't as crazy as you guys, I might be offended. But I don't care. Alright, guys, let's look at the digital kit. It's a very simple one. I just wanted to give you guys another option for the peeking snowman. I know not everybody necessarily has it in their budget for the die, and that's cool. You know, I never ever want to pressure you guys into buying things. That's not why I'm here. I'm here to hang out with you guys and to craft with you. And then, you know, if you like what I'm doing and you want to do it, you guys can copy. I never have a lot of product. Just like I'm doing the steampunk. Oh, you guys want to take a sneak peek of the steampunk? Would special delivery fit inside the card? Melody? Yes, ma'am. Look it. Here's the special delivery. I mean, if you place it right, you might even be able to replace the special delivery with the music. But yeah, the special delivery is perfect for inside. Look at that. We're going to play with this next week, though. The steampunk kit is in its beginning phases, you guys. I still have product on order. Some of it is Tim Holt stuff, like the metal plates and stuff. I'm really trying to keep your costs down. So it'll be similar probably to the other ones, but yeah, let me show you. All I have is the front page. Oops. So here's the front page. This is my metal item. See, these things are going to be what costs me, but this is going to go right there. But this is the book, and of course it's going to be accordion. But just beginning phases, y'all. So yeah, what do you think? It's going to be pretty awesome, I'm telling you. But I won't have a lot of kits unless I can find. I have some remnant rubs on order, and like I said, they're discontinued. So I'm going on eBay. I'm going on Etsy looking for these items. So we'll see. All right. That's all you're seeing on the steampunk journal. You're not going to see it until I open up the class. But I did want to share with you and tell you that I am working behind the scenes, I promise. I know you guys wanted to do a steampunk journal book. So, yeah, I'm gonna make it happen. Hopefully you guys will be interested in it. It's gonna be a great book. Let's see, can you make a digital file of the metal tag and layer them up for dimension? Love the steampunk. Sorry, I thought the video started at 4. Oh, and Carlene, I'm glad that you joined. I got your email about the digital set. Yes, I'll email it to you after I'm done. I don't typically do work during the weekend, but I want to just tell you I did get your email. So yeah, when you order the digitals, they're only good. The link is only good for 30 days, I want to say. But if you ever have a problem, just email me with your order number and I'll send it to you again. No big deal. Jim, your question. Yes, I could do that. In fact, one of the pieces I was going to use, look at some of these items I'm going to use. It's going to be awesome. But I want the metal item. So what I may end up doing for some of these metal objects is split up the pack. So I'll order like 2 or 3 of them rather than 15, and everybody will get a different metal item. I think the metal is what makes the steampunk, Jim. Just like these are metal. I just don't want it all to be text. I don't want it to all be paper. He embossed 3 times and it looked like... Yeah, it looks like it, Melody, I agree, but there's nothing better than true metal. So, yeah. I can make faux things all day long, but when it comes to some of these projects, really, really like the full-on metal. Full-on metal jacket. Yeah, the steampunk, I will definitely give you guys a heads up before I open up the class and offer up the kits. Because right now I've only got like 12 kits. I've got to find some more of those remnant rubs. So we'll see. If I can't find the remnant rubs, I might do a substitute. But again, the class, I'll open up the class in December. Once I have my prototype finished. And Carlene, this is what we made earlier, this Peking Santa. I do have the die out there if you're interested, and then I also made a digital kit. That's what I'm doing next. But if, oh yeah, yeah, well, I lost my train of thought. If I can, I will let you guys know, my group here, my team, you guys are my team. I'll let you know ahead of time before I open up the kits, so you guys will get first dibs. It's always important for me to give you all first dibs. Alright, so let's glue this down. Super easy. Jim, you could, oh, you know what? Look at this. Maybe a little too big. Oh, but we can put that down here. Yes. See, Melody, see? Special delivery. Alright. I wasn't going to use this die today, but this is another die I just put in the shop. Love this. I love the font on this. So yeah, we're going to be playing with this more next week. Aren't you going on a cruise? Yes, ma'am. We are going in December, the early part of December. Why is this? So yes, we are going on a cruise. We're going on a Mexican cruise with my son and his roommates. So yeah, we're getting ready for that. 7 nights, 8 days, something like that. Should be fun. Oh, I'm glad you like the card, Carlene. Nice. Alright, so this is going to be a very easy. This is one of the, I hear Maxie in the background. He's like a zombie. I have a few of these in the shop where it's just a cut, print, and go. Cut, print, paste, and go. I want to call them. They're for your quick and easy cards. So, yeah, these come together very quickly. And again, you can zhuzh them up as much as you want. In fact, I think you could probably put, I mean, if you wanted to, you can put the lights on this one as well, right? So yeah, I mean, the lights can be added to this. Why not? Glowforge and make you sell your own item. Okay, you need your husband to get a Glowforge and make and sell your own items. Glowforge. Robin, what is a Glowforge? Explain, please. I don't know what a Glowforge is. Alright, let's trim this down a bit. You got some splaining to do, Robin. Remember the Lucy episodes when Ricky would say to Lucy, Lucy, you have some splaining to do. Alright, so let's just do a little trim here. Super easy. Oh, laser cut. Oh boy. 3D printer. You guys. Okay, I don't know if you guys aren't aware, but my last name is Taylor, not Rockefeller. I'm sure those Glowforges are expensive. But of course I'm going to go look now. Alright, so I'm just kind of playing with this to see what I could do. I mean, you might be able to have this. Let me see. Let me get a card base. Hold on. Hope Lords is okay today. She's usually right on with us. Looking for my embossing. Let's see, maybe your local library has one. 3D printer. I'll have to look. Alright. Okay, so let's... Uh-oh, that's a problem. That is a problem, y'all. Alright, so... Okay, that's probably not a great idea, Monica. See, I always tell myself, make sure you put your tools back where they belong, because the next time you go to use it, it's not going to be there. He's holding it hostage. He might be. He's probably hungry and he's eating it. Better not be. Alright. Let's try this again. So we just trimmed this up. And I need to... See, that's a little rough. I need to get my sander here. Do you guys use these... hold on. These little sanders? I know Tim came out with them. But I like them, especially when the card doesn't cut perfectly. I like them. Alright, got blue fingers here. So let's glue this down and let's see what we have to work with. Let's see. Carlene, you'll get there. You know, when I first was teaching myself, talking to Carlene here, how to work with Photoshop, when I first started creating digitals, they weren't that great. But you know what? With practice, and you know, make sure you have nice, crisp paper is what I would recommend if you're just getting into digitals. Paper that prints well for your printer. I'll be real happy. I mean, look at how great that little digital image is. So cute. Alright, so we are playing with this and we're trying to see if we wanted to add, I mean, you could add the music, right? We could just, you could cut off part of it. It doesn't all have to be on the card, but you can certainly add the music on top, or you could go straight, but that's not fun. You could cut... You can cut this in half maybe and just use part of it. But yeah, I wouldn't put it down there. I don't think it looks good on the wood. But you might be able to incorporate this into your digital card. And then the special delivery you certainly can put on the wood. I guess you could put it there. Don't like it as well. You scratched your glass mat with one of these? Really? Huh, that surprises me. Kind of like it better on the snow, but I think it would certainly work well here as well. And then maybe, I'm just thinking out loud here, guys. Maybe if we had individual notes. I'm just thinking out loud. All right. Let's see if we can zhuzh this up. So, maybe we could do something like that. Something like that. I don't know. What do you guys think? You could even do little individual notes if you wanted. Again, I'm just playing here. Sometimes you don't know what you can do until you start playing with things. So that's what we're doing. We're just playing. Let's see. Snow. You did ask me about that. Not yet. Cold in the morning. It's been warming up nice at night. But no snow as of yet. But it's a-coming. We usually have snow end of October, but we're expecting it any time now, I'm sure. Yeah, so that's the nice thing about cut the notes. That's what that's what I'm doing. Don't like them as well that way, but could. But yeah, just that's the nice thing about dies, right? Is, you know, you can kind of play around a little bit. Ooh, I like how that's boxed off. Maybe just do a little one, right? So maybe that could go there, right? Something like that. I don't know. Why not, right? What do you guys think? Absolutely not, Monica? Yeah, I like it. Or, I love it. You gotta do it. What do you guys think? Or the birds holding the notes? Yeah, that's a good idea too. Let's see. Montana had snow last week. Yeah, maybe a little higher up than us, Delina. We're South Montana, so maybe a little higher up. Let's see. Upside down. Just reading some of the comments here. So yeah, so lots of options. What I would say is when you do have a die set, don't be afraid to play with it, you guys. That's what's fun about dies. Is you can cut them out and try them different ways. You know, incorporate your dies with different dies as well. In fact, I'm gonna see what other characters I might have that I can work with my peeking wall. I might have some other characters that I can die cut, so we'll see. You know, now's the time to play. It's not quite crazy Christmas yet, so start going through your stash, start going through your dies. Cut the dies ahead of time. Cut the dies ahead of time so they're already, you know, ready to go, and you don't have to stop in the middle of your production to cut the dies. But just have some fun. It doesn't have to, every card does not have to be a masterpiece to be nice. Okay, Melody, there's your special delivery. I'm going to go ahead and put these little music ones up there just because I think they are cute. Even though I cut them, I still think it works. Yeah. Lots of ways to go. Multiple paths up the hill. Oops. That could be snow. Alright. So let's put this. Drop some glue there. Put that there. And then this can go in the middle, right? Let's put this one next, actually. Jim Holt's pumpkins and the head. So the chief, the chef dies. Yes, I remember that, Delina. I still have that card. I remember. Very, very cute. So yeah, just dig through your stash, see what you got to play with, and have a little fun. Don't take your card making so serious that it's not fun. So, I guess my points for this exercise would be, if you do get the die set, definitely get the digital set to complement it. If you are not part of my Backstage Pass, I typically do this, where if I have a product, I create digitals to work with the product. Like Melody, that postal stamp die, how I always create templates to work with that. But yeah, if you're not part of my Backstage Pass, the Backstage Pass is a membership where you can pay one annual fee and get access to all my digitals in the shop. So, Carlene, I know you're just starting out with digitals, but if you do end up loving digitals, the Backstage Pass may be the way to go for you. One fee. I'm just reading here. One fee, and you get access to all the digitals in the shop. You just use your code and download and go. So there you have it. This is a little bit bigger. I might trim. I'm thinking I might trim it, but no, I'm not going to do that. This will just be a bigger card. So this is the digital where we zhuzhed it up with the special delivery, and I added the notes. What do you guys think of that? Do you like? I added, my glue fell there. That's all right. But yeah, it came out cute, don't you think? And then this is, of course, the die. So there you have it. That's what I have for you today. I hope you had fun today. I know I did. Like I said, I don't play with dies as often as I'd like to, but when I do, I really have a good time. Next week, we will be playing with a special delivery die. I have some dies that have like little snowflakes. Good job. I have some mailbox dies that I think would be great with the special delivery, so I'm going to dig through my stash. Good idea. Dig through my stash and see how I can incorporate that special delivery with some of my other dies. So I hope that you join me next week. Cute idea. Yes, I hope you join me next week when we play with the special delivery die. All of my lives and through Christmas are going to probably be Christmas theme. I might throw in a couple different theme lives as we go along. I don't have any more classes planned, so we're just going to do like mini, we're going to do lives, which my lives tend to be tutorials. But we're going to do, lives and just kind of have some fun. And then in December, I'll give you guys the heads up when the class for February is open. And we'll do the walkthrough of the steampunk journal, so you guys will see what we're going to make in February. And then I am going to have another tag class. So those tag books that we made, I'm going to do a spring one as well. I've already ordered some more tags, and I'm going to be working on that, and that probably will be March. So those will be my spring classes. All right, good idea. Whoever said to 3 o'clock Sundays, yes, Carlene. And Snowflakes, Debbie, great job. You said put them between the music. I could have done that, but I put them down here. I saw snowflakes and I just said yes, and I didn't even see where you said to put them. Let me just do a quick check. Yeah, that would be cute too, right? I mean, if you wanted to tie, ooh, I like that actually. If you wanted to tie your, I think that might be a little busy though right now. I like that idea though, Debbie. If you want to tie your music together, look at, you can put your little snowflakes there. I don't want to snowflake myself to death, so I will leave that as it is. Fantastic idea though. Add to the, you don't think it'd be too busy adding them to the music at this point? I mean, we were saying goodbye, but maybe we need to add them to the music. What do you guys think? Should I? Do you think it's too busy? I love the idea, don't get me wrong. But is it too many snowflakes at this point? That looks great. Doesn't the time change next week? Does it, Robin? Well, next week we will go still at, we'll go at 3 o'clock my time. I'll schedule it ahead of time so you guys will see the time frame. And if we need to adjust for the following winter, we will. So yeah. Okay, that's all I've got for reals this time. I will see you guys next week. I have another video coming out. It's already taped, ready to go, so I'll release that in the next day or so. And it's a Christmas card. It's a video I made a while ago, but I've been waiting for my Christmas makes to start. And now we're into Christmas. So I hope you all have a great week. I love how my digital came out with the dies. So you have a couple combinations. If you don't have time to do the full-on, peeking Santas, you can print out the digital and still zhuzh it up. I think it's awesome. All right. Anyway, enough talking. I got to go make my pizza. And I will see you next week. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, y'all. And I appreciate your support. We'll see you later. Bye.